morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Tuesday the 2nd of March. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, hourly candlesticks here. It's a bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 48,141 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 51,182. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from this morning's high 50,000. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin test resistance at 55,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 52,784. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 46,539 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should still well clear of the second major support level at 43,498. The 23.6% fib at 45,501 should limit the downside. On the MACD, we've got a widening of the bullish histograms this morning, supporting the early upside. More significantly, however, the 50 EMA is closing in on the 100 and the 200 with a possible bullish cross through the 100 coming up, so need to keep an eye on that. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 48,141 and break out from 50,000 levels to then bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and you can see support levels come into play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, also bullish this morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fallback through the 23.6% fib at 1579 and the pivot at 1520 to continue the run at the first major resistance level at 1627. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from this morning's high 1605.89. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum test resistance at 1700 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1681. A fallback through the 23.6% fib and the pivot at 1520 would bring the first major support level at 1465 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should still well clear of sub 1400s. Second major support level sits at 1358. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bullish histogram after yesterday's late bullish cross, supporting this early morning upside. On the EMAs, the 50 is also closing in on the 100 and the 200, supporting further upside through the morning. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through 23.6% fib at 1579 to take a run at that first major resistance level. Failure to do that would bring the pivot level and then support levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also bullish start to the day here. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 172 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 181. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 180 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin test resistance at 190 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 185. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 167 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of the second major support level at 159. The 38.2% fib at 163 should limit the downside. On the MACD, similar trend, a widening of the bullish histogram this morning, supporting the early upside, with the 50 EMA closing in on the 100 and the 200. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 172 and break through to 180s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also bullish this morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 0.4378 to continue the run at the first major resistance level at 0.4624 and the 38.2% fib at 0.4632. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break through to 46 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and 38.2% fib to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, we've got the second major resistance level at 0.4788 that would likely come into play. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.4213 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of sub 0.40s. Second major support level sits at 0.3967. Looking at the MACD, we have a widening of the bullish histogram this morning, supporting the early upside, with the 50 MA closing in on the 100 and the 200, also a bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 0.4378, break through to 0.46 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and you could see support levels come into play.